I saw Justin Bour's playing in Japan. He's hitting bombs. It's crazy.
I bet he's happy he gets to do the bat flip.
Probably.
Although Justin Bour could absorb a hit by pitch.
Oh yeah, he's beefy. He's definitely beefy. Justin Bour, like it just kind of fell off for him, man. Weird.
Didn't he have a stat that he like I don't know what happened. I think I know what it was. Like he went on a slump because he got this hot girlfriend, and then
yeah, no, that's right. Like remember Yelich told us that he has the that he was a big fan of the Slump-buster, and then he got this knockout girlfriend, and I don't know, just kind of went. He went from having a 366 on base to 296.
I have a question.
Yep.
What does a slump-buster do to get a slump-buster?
I don't know. I mean, no, it doesn't matter. Like whoever it only goes one way. The Slump-buster only knows one route.
Hey, you think somebody was looking at Justin Bour and thinking, I really wanted, to have a Cy Young pitcher, but it ain't working out. I need to go ahead on and get me a slump-buster.
So
big fat ass first baseman.
So you think that she had her eye on like Henderson Alvarez, but she's like, yeah, I guess Justin Bour.
Yeah.
Henderson Alvarez's shoulder stopped working, so yeah, I guess she had to make the switch.
Yeah, Justin Bour, 2017. He hit 289. He had a 366 on base, OPS of over 900, 25 home runs, 18 doubles, and then just like next year kind of fell off 227, 341, and then it was over.
He could have hit 40 home runs in another ballpark.
Remember that home run derby?
You know how far Justin Bour has to hit a ball for a double?
Yeah, that is a tough park for lefties for sure.
I sent you guys a picture of the dog.
Oh yeah, this is the new addition to the Horde household.
Yep.
Oh, it's pretty. Oh, he's got some blue eyes.
Yep.
He looks like a White Walker.
That's what I call him, White Walker.
The Night King.
Yep. His I didn't know they had two different kind of labs. They have American lab and English lab. The English lab is the fat ass lazy lab, like my last dog. The American lab is like the hunter, the one that's very active.
Oh, really?
Not as big.
All right. So ESPN, they came out with this thing. Now, I have no context for this. I just saw a tweet on it.
Here. Do you think you've been someone's slump buster before?
Oh, I have.
Yeah?
Both ways. I've been a slump buster and I've slump busted.
That didn't sound right. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I would guess I've probably been somebody's slump buster. But what I would like to know, if I was somebody's slump buster, I would like to know who I was slump busting for, because it better be a step up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you mean like you'd like to know what caused this? I don't know.
No, I would like to know. So, for example, if I was considered a slump buster, then what was the end game?
I don't know.
You see what I mean?
I don't know. I've definitely had those moments. I've definitely had those moments in college where I woke up and grabbed, be like, man, way too intoxicated to end up here.
Yep. All the 20s.
I don't even think I was 20 at that point.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you, that dorm living, right? Dorm living, I don't even know why they have dorms. Like, it's like, you have to realize kids are just coming out of high school, and they're in that tweener period where they're independent, right? But you still got some responsibility.
Sure.
And responsibility be damn. Because you're trying to hang out with the cool kids.
I found it adorable, too, at Barry, where they're like, and I'm sure other colleges have to do this, where we have to check in visitors. I'm just like, really? We have to have a record of who we're going to have sex with?
No, I'm like, he can't check in. He's got the keg. I think it was my second year. They didn't allow it. No, well, because I guess
They didn't allow what, kegs? Or they didn't allow
dude,
crossover genders?
think about this. 98% of everybody living in the dorm was underage. How the hell should there be a keg in the dorm anyway?
That was the rules at Barry. You weren't supposed to have it in the room, but
Right, but they kind of enforced it once they realized, wait a minute, there ain't nobody over 21 in the dorms anyway.
right, except for like
But-
the RA.
But here's the part that sucked. You got that back door, right, that you can bring the keg in with. Nobody's ever on the first 2 floors.
Well, the thing that was a problem for us, we got caught because the head of Res Life was actually living across from our building, and apparently saw us from her patio, and she sent in the troops to come get us.
Oh, no, we pennied our RAN. You know what that is, right?
What is that?
When you jam the pennies in the door, they can't get out.
No, I didn't see that. That's the thing?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. I had to, no, when we got caught too, they were like, you have to write an essay on being assistant, because my buddy got the main trouble because he was over 21 and I was 20 at the time when we got kicked off. And they're like, you need to write an essay on being an assistant in a crime. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm not doing extra homework for you. You already kicked me off. Damage is done, my friend.
They actually, you had to write something about being a co-conspirator in a crime.
Yep. And I was like, well, what happens if I don't? You guys already kicked me off campus, so what's the difference?
Damage is done, my friend.
Were your parents pissed? It's actually probably cheaper to stay off campus.
I'm trying to think if I even ever told my mother about
Yeah, I'm
this.
wondering if they even know. Yeah.
I think we just came up with the idea. I was like, hey, what about us living off campus? Me and my buddy John getting a house. And it wasn't that much more expensive. It was kind of a wash money wise. So I think she was fine with it.
Boy, I could just know. See, by the way, Tobin's Antics started long before radio.
Well, I started, that was actually the cool thing. Is like by that time at Barry, I was getting a lot of money doing college radio, like from the school, because I had like a manager position there, and they gave me a lot of tuition money to do all these gigs. So it was really cool.
All right.
All from running WBRY, pirate radio station. It was fantastic. Anyway, so I have no context for where they came up with this, but this is ESPN forecast of the Eastern Conference Finals prediction. Now, I don't understand how you could do something like this, because it says Milwaukee Bucks 100%, which seems stupid. 100%? Like 100% they make the Eastern Conference Finals?
Hey, so was the Warriors beating the Cavs when they were up 3-1.
100%.
Even the bookies go 99.1.
Right. Like, you can't even just throw, you don't throw any, there's no margin for error there. 100% that it happens. Boston making the Eastern Conference Finals, 41.2%. Yeah, whatever. Brad Stevens overrated. Toronto Raptors, 32.4%. So they got some respect to the defending champs. Philadelphia 76ers, 23.5% making the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay. And finally, 2.9% to make the Eastern Conference Finals, the Miami Heat. Under 3% ESPN has their chances of making the Eastern Conference Finals.
Can I tell you what that sounds like? It sounds like a bunch of people voted who will get to the Eastern Conference. That could be the only way that, so they took 100 analysts and they asked them who will get to the finals. And the Eastern Conference Finals, and I would say that 100% of them had Milwaukee on the list. That's where I think that came from. Because that just sounds that you can't come. There is no number in the world that's 100% when it comes to this type of stuff.
You might be right. That does seem like it would make some sense, which
Right.
makes me even more mad because that means that these jackasses have the opinion that 1 out of 4 of them think that the Philadelphia 76ers can make the Eastern Conference Finals, but only a couple chuckleheads out here think that the Miami Heat can make it. Did you not watch the season?
And I'm guessing, here's what sucks about all of these, right? It probably has a lot to do with the area that you live in or write for. You know, because if you go to Philly, everybody's going to say, oh, yeah, Philly can make it with talent they have, or blah, 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 right? And the further you get down the list, the more inclined you are for example, even if somebody down here took the Heat, they're still going to take Milwaukee. So that's how they get to 100%.
Who came up with this? This Nick Friedel? Is that who's out here making this thing?
So he just gets all the credit for...
They go with Nick Friedel for it. Dave McMenamin, Nick Friedel, Tim McMahon, same group of people. You know, let's mix it up a little bit. You know, let's go out there and come up with something. Let's see. All right, here's how it is, Leroy. Leroy's correct. When we last polled the ESPN forecast panel in March, the Milwaukee Bucks were the pick to win the championship, but how much has changed since? So they had their poll panel. Their poll panel, huh? All right.
See?
I want to know who's on this panel.
The only way somebody could be 100% is if it was voted on.
Name
not
names.
Percentages.
Name names. I want to know who's there.
Well, if you here. If you were to pick, we know you picked the Heat, but you pick Milwaukee, right? Yes, you would. Stop. Don't do this. Don't do this.
If they, I don't even. Do we know what the matchups are yet? We still don't, right? Like,
Who cares, dude? Without knowing what the matchups are, if you're gonna pick the Heat, you're gonna pick Milwaukee with the Heat.
Well, what if the Heat end up taking on Milwaukee in the semis?
Just in general, dude, we're not doing matchups yet.
Well, if the Heat end up taking on the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference semis, obviously the Milwaukee's not going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
You know, Robbie.
What?
Do you understand why it's difficult working with this man?
How is it difficult?
Because we're not doing it. We're not doing it from the same. We're not doing it from the standpoint of what the matchups are going to be. Just pick 2 teams out of the East.
But do you understand?
Pick 2 teams out of the East, Tobin.
Okay. I'm going to go Heat Raptors.
We need to go to break.
Defending champs.
Robbie,
defending
nothing?
champs, no respect.
Oh my goodness!
If the Heat end up taking on the Bucks,
that has a 0.0% chance of happening.
Well,
0.0.
That's not true.
That the Heat and the Raptors.
What if they end up on different sides of the bracket?
0.0. I don't care about the brackets. You're telling me right now the 2 best teams in the East are the Heat and the Raptors.
Maybe I think the
Bucks
no.
That's all that question is. You're not doing matchups and
styles make fights. Styles make fights. So just because
you're making this way more complicated than it is.
Just because the Bucks have been better all year doesn't mean that he can't beat him in a series.
Okay. Again, we're not doing it. We're picking 2 teams to play for the Eastern Conference Finals. You don't know what the brackets are. You don't know what the matchups are.
Well, we kind of have a good idea.
Teams.
Like we have 8 games left in the season.
Right. Okay, so
do we know? Are they doing? Have they announced if they're doing Eastern Conference, Western Conference, or are they doing 1 through 16?
No, I think they're doing the normal playoffs. I don't think they're doing the full 1 through 16.
Here we go. Because the playoff bracket, seeds 2, 3, and 6 don't have to play Milwaukee in the second round.
All right. Well, the Heat are going to be 4 right now. So current.
You know who's going to here.
I'm trying to see what the standings are. So let's look. You got the chance of right now. The Heat are with how many games do we have, Robbie? When we come back,
8.
8. Okay, so the Heat are 5.5 back of the Raptors, so they're not going to be 2. They could be. I mean, I guess it depends what happens with Boston. They're 2.5 back of Boston, and they're 2 up on Philly. So yeah, there's still a lot of shakeup that could happen there.
I literally want to chop you in the throat right now.
Why?
Because you've taken just an innocent question and ruined it.
I didn't like it. I didn't find it to be an innocent question. I found it to be an offensive question.
It wasn't an offensive question when you see how the question was asked.
I mean, it did say pick
You
two
read
teams.
you read the answer, and even I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I figure out how they came to those conclusions. And you take everything as a knock. That's not a knock on the Heat.
I do.
That only 2% of the people thought they would make it. Okay, go.
It is a knock.
Everybody's going to pick Milwaukee.
So, hold on. All these dum-dums, let me tell you. So let me get this straight. 1 out of 4 people on this panel think that the Philadelphia 76ers can make the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, have they watched them at all this year?
Okay.
Have they? Like, that's what I'm asking.
But more importantly, 100% of the people pick Milwaukee, which you probably would too. But then you turn around and take the Raptors. You took the Raptors.
What's wrong with the Raptors? Pascal Siakam,
here,
they got a champion.
Think about
guard.
this. Siakam is where you want Bam to end up.
I think he's gonna be better. I think Bam's gonna be better than Pascal Siakam.
You think Bam's going to be better than that?
Yeah.
Then you talking about a Hall of Famer.
Bam. First of all, Bam gave Pascal Siakam the business this year.
That's not. But that doesn't.
And
That's
he's
not
22
taking
and he's
anything away
22.
from
He's
him.
3
It
years
means
younger than
Bam's
him.
really good.
Yeah, but he's 3 years younger than him. This is the first year
Okay.
Bam's actually gotten to do this.
Okay, and this is also the first year Siakam's done it.
No. Siakam
No, this
was
is
good
the
last
first,
year.
second year maybe. Where this year Siakam's the man.
Yeah. Spicy P. What about Spicy B?
Top text, Peacock Pirate and Chicken Lips. That's right.
So there's this report coming out that a group of NBA players are questioning whether or not it is a good idea to restart the league.
Okay, hold on.
This is what
let's real talk. This I don't know who this list is.
it's not.
Okay.
Well, it's not a list. Like I don't
Okay.
have a list of players. Like it's not like Devin Booker came out and said bad idea.
Okay, all right. Because I would say that those guys, the more guys speak, the farther they are from a championship.
Really? So you think nobody is? It says. So you don't think there's any chance it's anybody who has a shot? Like LeBron, no shot.
Oh, no, yeah, he's no shot. It's LeBron.
Like Giannis, no shot.
No shot.
Yeah, LeBron already said he wanted to play.
No shot. But, and again, I don't hold this against any of the players. But if a guy is the 9th seed right now, and you've been struggling all year, you going to come back for that?
He said, Woe says, as the NBA and Players Association are finalizing terms on a return to play plan, there's a fraction of players discussing as a group whether restarting the season in an Orlando bubble is a good idea. Several dozen players participated in a conference call the last 24 hours to discuss it. The Players Association NBA expects to agree on a provision that wouldn't require players to restart the season, nor subject them to discipline for staying home. The players would lose a portion of salary for those games missed. The NBA and Players Association are nearing completion of items needed to reach a final agreement on the parameters of return to play. Some players with hesitation have been discussing a number of issues on return, including family concerns, COVID-19, social justice, and more. Sources, if a player has a medical issue that might cause him to be excused from an Orlando restart, he would be allowed to undergo an independent examination process. Even if the player was told that he's fit to play, he could stay home without consequence.
Yep, I can see it. But again, besides Ingles, right?
Yep, Ingles is the one we have a story we've heard of.
I can't think of. And how close are they?
The Jazz are a good team. They're like fourth. In
No,
the
I
West.
know. No, I know. But that's it. That's the only player.
Oh, you mean like how? What do you mean how close are they? You mean like how good?
How
are
close
they?
are they to win a championship? They could compete.
They would need an injury. They would need
Right.
like they would need like LeBron or Kawhi to pull up with something for the door, I think, to truly open for them.
So it's possible. But there's a lot of teams. Are the Jazz the cutoff? So any team below the Jazz?
Yeah. I mean, what about
Pacers?
You got the highfalutin Rockets. Very full
You mean
of
high
themselves.
flying? They're not high. You think?
They're not high flying.
No.
Flying into flopping.
No, I don't think they have a chance.
Dallas Mavericks, no chance. Memphis, no chance. OKC, no chance. Denver's the 3 seed. You give Denver a shot with old dad bod. The Jokic. They got worked last year,
No, I know.
even
I know.
being the 1 seed.
I know. Not really. But I don't see anybody from Denver doing it because they probably feel they have a chance.
I don't think Denver would do it either. I mean,
Right, but that's
unless-
where and I'm fine with. Look, I'm never, if you have that choice and you make that choice, I'm not gonna then come back and say, oh, that's because you don't think you can win the championship. I'm not gonna do that.
Maybe Jamal Murray, because we know
But-
that he was having fun during the quarantine. You know, where
But
he
I
leaked
will
his video.
say that will steer some of the decisions as to not play. And
This is Trae Young. Trae Young said that he was mad and frustrated that his team was not able to make the cut for the restart. He understood the league's position of the Warriors, but he said he says it's really motivated for us not to be in that position next year. But the Hawks finished 20-47, which put them a whopping 12 games out of the 8 seed.
so you think you had a chance?
He wanted to play.
He wanted to play, but guess what? That's just a little verbal jujitsu right there.
Listen, you know what?
That's just saying, you know how you say the good thing? Because like, oh, that Trae Young, he's a baller. He's a baller. He wanted to play all of his games at Disney.
Hey, Mickey,
Right?
missed you.
Hey, you think they mistake him for Mickey Mouse? Because he's tiny.
He is tiny. Do you think what does Mickey Mouse think about the concerns of the players in COVID-19?
I didn't catch COVID-19. I was protected. I kept my mask on all along.
You're a mouse, though, man. I don't think mice can get it, even if it did come from a bat.
This mouse doesn't eat cheese.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse snitching to Adam Silver about all the players who complained.
Say,
Somebody says, I want to square up and go at Tobin on Fight Island. Is he game? Sure. I mean, it's a fake island. So, I mean, if you want to go to Abu Dhabi.
it doesn't.
Sure.
Let me explain something to you. Tobin ain't a fighter. I seen his footwork, and the best footwork he has, he was drunk. So it don't count.
Well, that's why I'll fight.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was taken aback by that nonsense.
I got the whiskey shuffle.
The whiskey, like, Robbie, we just walking around talking, and then Tobin just gets in the tuck position and starts shadow boxing. I'm like, something I need to do. I need to go get my gloves. Is it go time, or you get ready for an altercation? What we got here?
Maybe there's like one of those things where people have better skills. Like, you know, people feel like, you know, maybe it's like dreaming you have skill set that you don't have, you could never do in real life.
Yep,
Maybe,
gotta tell you.
Maybe another subconscious could be awakened by alcohol.
We need to get back to Vegas for 2 reasons. One, 1 o'clock, 1 in the morning, lobster mac and cheese wasn't the worst.
Mariachi band.
Mariachi band, meat happy hour, lot of good positives, and Tobin's learned a valuable lesson. He may have been the only person in Vegas to buy drinks.
True. I was thinking about how crazy it has been crazy though since like the time we've been doing this. I've been to Vegas 4 times. It was my first 4 times.
Right. I'm like, Tobin, what are you doing? He says, buying drinks. I'm like, checking out the view. I'm like, are you paying for those drinks?
I'm not a gambler.
It don't matter. I pulled up a chair next to me. Hey, hose him down.
Then you have that trash talking blackjack DJ or pie gow.
Oh my goodness,
pie gow deal.
Robbie.
Oh boy.
We were sitting at a pie gow table. I sat down, put my little chips out. She looked over at me with a straight face and said, "Ooh, I'm about to get all those."
About to bust you up.
The dealer.
About to bust you up.
Yeah, she said, "I'm about to bust you open." I'm like, wow.
Jeez, man. I know who definitely doesn't have this feelings. It's anybody on the Heat because they know they're coming for the title. Heat culture, not scared of COVID.
I would say, look, I would be satisfied with where they are right now if they get past the second round.
So you want them in the conference finals? That's what would get you satisfied?
Oh yeah, they would have to get to the conference final.
I'm with you. Hey, I'm with you, baby.
I would no. Let me take that back.
You're going to a first round win, a playoff series win.
Playoff series win.
Playoff series win is a
and compete
in the second round.
In the second round. So not have it be
win
like
a series, don't get waxed. Like
Right.
very similar to D Wade's rookie year.
Here's what I want. I want at the end of this year to say, oh, if we shore up these couple of areas, we can compete for the East. I don't want it to end in a way where you have questions about what you're doing. Okay? Because everybody, I would say that Tyler Hero's better than we expected.
Yep.
Especially when, look, the Heat are one of the few teams, they don't normally play young guys. And they have a team of relatively young guys.
So if you had the Heat, they win their first round series and they do like they did in Wade's rookie year 2004, and they go 6 games like they did against the Pacers back then.
Yep.
That'd be a successful year to you.
Here's the other thing. I want to be able to have patience with Bam's production. Okay,
100%.
So I don't want, like, when we watch basketball and we watch guys playing, it's like that 5th, 6th, 7th year where they really come into their own. It's not like other sports.
Well,
although they show some signs of it, they're not the finished product until those later years, which we've seen from the best of the best.
Yeah, usually you take baby steps in the playoffs. Like you do your winning in steps.
Right.
Rare are the times that you just go and you just blow the. I mean, I'm talking about young teams that develop together, not like,
right.
Obviously the Lakers, they have LeBron and Anthony Davis now. That's different. The Heat get Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and Bosh. Different, even though they have that terrible showing against the Mavericks in 11. Don't forget how they cut like a hot knife through butter through the East that year too.
Right. I want to see if there's anything that I would like to see improve. It's not even Bam's ability to make a jumper. It's Bam's ability to have confidence in taking the jumper.
I'm with that.
And so it's a step. It's a step that he has to make just in his overall maturation. And I think that the Heat and Jimmy have to push that because he creates the biggest mismatch on the floor. Either with his speed with bigs, either with his size with other wing players. He does provide that mismatch, and I think he's going to have to learn how to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and I think like they've been it's so interesting. They're going to be they were such a Jekyll and Hyde team home and road this year. Got even worse though, as they had injuries pile up too. So I think it's one of those things where you go out there and if you have that type of showing, it's going to be weird to see what that is in this neutral setting. What these guys do. But yeah, like you said, Jimmy's the only guy who's got the experience. Myers too,
and Goran.
Goran's got a little experience too. So Goran, but Myers and Jimmy, and then the other rest, and then of course you got like the role guys like Iguodala. But like I'm talking about those main guys. The main guys I'm really talking about: Bam, Hero, Dunks.
The other thing is when the game slows down,
Kendrick Nunn.
I think Jay Crowder is going to have more of an impact.
He's been great.
He is basically what you want Iguodala to be as a D and 3 guy.
Everybody's been talking about, all these national guys talking about Iguodala, and it's like I just haven't seen. It's been very short. You saw maybe like some brief hints of it, but Jay Crowder came to the Heat. It was just like immediately, boom, burst onto the scene. Boom. It was great. Texter writes in 786-360-0790. Leroy, I've been listening to Dan Le Batard for a long time. Tobin is the type of fan that Dan Le Batard despises. And I say to that, good.
I'm like, the only difference between me and Le Batard is that Le Batard wouldn't threaten to chop you in the throat, just karate chop you right on your little jugular. I would.